And we are live. What's going on, everyone? It's Talks with Kenny. This is episode 84 with Live with Kenny. I know I didn't show up last week. I wasn't feeling too good today. And even now, I don't feel too good. As you guys know, it snowed in Florida, in Pensacola. It snowed on the panhandle of Florida. What a life, huh? 2025, huh? So, without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it. News story. First, I want to talk about why is Trump having the highest approval ratings ever? Well, as you guys saw in my videos from today, there was an interesting video that came out, viral clip of an illegal criminal, a criminal migrant, a criminal illegal, crying about how he's not going back to Haiti. Right. And I think this is adding on to it. But I think one of the reasons why Trump has such a high approval rating is the fact that he's actually following through his promises. I think as reporting of this video, they already deported 1,300 people, illegals, right? They're already telling their people in Mexico, hey, don't go over there. The La Marga, the immigration people, they're waiting for you. They're all everywhere. There's no point in crossing the border. And this is the kind of structure you want to put out in the world. Show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. If a migrant see this video, you think they'll be incentivized to cross our borders illegally or to go through the legal channels of getting immigration? Let's take a look at this 12-second clip.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti.
I feel like I'm guilty. I feel like I'm too guilty. Like it's guilty to enjoy that clip. I don't know why, bro. Guys, you don't know how many times I spammed this clip already.
Come on. I'm not going back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti.
Yeah, he's going back to Haiti, y'all. He's going back to. They're going back to Venezuela. They're going back to Brazil. They're going back to Ecuador. They're going back to Cuba. They're going back. They're going back. Some people going back to India. Edward, loving the videos. Thanks, Baga. Shout out to Scott Lorrimore. I'm sorry I butchered your name. Homan. ICE has made 1,300 arrests, including pedophiles, gang members, and at least one terrorist. These are who the Democrats want us to feel sorry for. Look, I said from day one, no one's off the table. Border Czar Tom Homan announced on Thursday that Immigration Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, give a like on the live stream if you believe that ICE should have their own reality show like Cops back in the day. I know some of y'all, I saw some of your comments. I know some of you guys remember Cops. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Y'all remember that? ICE need a reality show. I bet you they'll get so much ratings, so much advertisement dollars from that, they'll probably be able to fund ICE. Because like I showed you in one of my previous videos, the videos with the I'm not going back to Haiti. That's a meme. That is, watch. I call it here first. On X, that's gonna be a meme. They had 4 million views in less than 1 day, Fox News, for showing the clip. Some people who just came in, this is the clip we're talking about. 4 million views, Fox News. I'm not going back to Haiti. 4 million views in less than 1 day. ICE, man, y'all losing out on some money. If y'all do a reality TV show, y'all gonna make our money back. Y'all be able to fund ICE.
Back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back.
I didn't see American Psycho yet dance with incels. Look, I'm a busy guy, man. I got work, I got kids, I got a lot of stuff to balance. I promise you I'll watch it tonight. I'll probably put it on locals and be like, yeah, look, I watched it. But I did see some clips though. So moving on. I want to get more into this interview, but first, I want to continue commenting on this. Among them, according to reports published Friday by the New York Post, were known pedophiles, gang members, and at least one suspected terrorist who's living in New York, right? And you're gonna see the situation with the Democrats trying to defend this stuff, right? Let me get the clips for you guys, because it's completely baffling to me that these people, they want to pretend that they're the good guys, right? They want to continue pretending that they have the best interest at heart for the American people, right? But they're all like, look at the concerns they have. Let me show you the concerns. I gotta show you this clip because this is ridiculous, right? As you just heard me say, among the 1,300 people they arrested were pedophiles, known pedophiles, gang members, and at least one suspected terrorist living in New York. And in this clip I'm about to show you, Fox News is going to complain, not Fox News, sorry, not Fox News. CNN is going to complain about the fact that these imageries, this is politically motivated because all the ICE raids are happening in blue cities. Chat, comment section. What do you think could be the common pattern all of these blue cities have? They all are sanctuary cities. All sanctuary cities are in blue states. Where's most likely is going to have the highest? Think about the incentive structure. If one city says that, hey, we're a sanctuary city, we protect illegals, wouldn't it make more sense that illegals will go to sanctuary cities more than they will go to a non-sanctuary cities? So if ICE wants to arrest these people, wants to conduct these raids, want to get the most bang for their buck with their time and resources, you go to the areas where the problem is most prevalent, sanctuary cities. But this goes over CNN's head because, like I said, journalists, they can't serve two masters. And it's shown time and time again, this is why CNN is suffering mass layoffs, that they continue projecting themselves as partisan. But I digress. I'm going to give my voice a break, and let's check out the clip.
Your reaction to seeing these photos from the White House, they say that our military planes deployed
Can't stand
for
Jim
these deportations. And I guess one of the things that we should talk about, shouldn't the White House or the administration be giving some kind of access to independent journalists so we can witness this firsthand as opposed to getting these takeouts from the White House?
I mean, I think press access for this is going to be very important. But I think we also need to really try and get context and understand what is happening and what is different than what we are seeing before. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, came out with a statement that said that they had arrested 538 people yesterday. And that is about double what we have seen previously. So indeed, we are now seeing stepped up enforcement. There has been some allegations that they are going into private places and not using warrants. That is illegal. So again, is that different? What are we seeing that is actually different? And that's going to be the thing that's going to tell us if this is actually effective, who they're targeting, and where are they targeting people. One of the concerns about this is that they're really going to be targeting people in blue cities and blue states. That is different than what we saw during the first Trump administration, where they were doing raids in North Dakota and red states and rural areas. This seems to be targeted in places that are blue states. So what does that tell us?
I know a lot of people who live in blue states that are happy for the fact that ICE is in here cleaning up house in Boston. Some of the Chicago. Oh my God, Chicago praying for ICE. Chicagoans will help ICE deport these people. And this is why I think this is what's boosting Trump's highest personal approval rating ever. I'll show you more of that evidence, sure, but I based on everything I showed you so far, right? From Trump putting the World Economic Forum on notice, chastising the Bank of America CEO that, hey, you should stop debanking conservatives now, lambasting the WEF about how, hey, stop using things you don't like and calling it misinformation, disinformation. It's over. And these people groveling to Trump, y'all mocked Trump, made fun of Trump. Now here they are crying, telling you to have mercy over illegals that's wanted by Interpol, by international police. Democrats, you're going to lose this one. I'm being dead serious. Trump releasing classified files on JFK, MLK's files. Oh my, bruh. You try to kill the man, and you don't think the man want to know your methods? Hey.
Does that tell us that this is politically motivated, that they're trying to instill fear in immigrant communities in blue areas as opposed to red areas? You know, all of these things, as we're looking at this enforcement operation, we have to really think about what it means and what is the administration actually trying to achieve.
It means that sanctuary cities in these in sanctuary cities, illegals in sanctuary cities are being protected from accountability, are being sheltered by people who are helping them break the law. Man, like it's ridiculous at this point, right? This Haitian guy, right? The Haitian illegal here, right?
I'm not going back to Haiti.
I know he keeps saying he's not going back to Haiti, right? But this dude has 17 convictions. Got released back into the community. ICE tried to detain him in prison. Because he was in a sanctuary city, they did not want to release him to ICE. They didn't want to keep him detained until ICE came. They just released him back into the community where he could be a possible threat to other people. How is this like? How the sanctuary cities reconcile that logic? Make it make sense to me. This is why Trump has such a high approval rating right now, right? I'm gonna talk about it because one of the reasons I think Trump has such a higher, has the highest approval rating in personal best is the fact that American taxpayers are feeling the effects of having keeping these illegals in their country. I keep spamming this report, but look at it: New York, Chicago, some of the biggest people who spend the most money maintaining illegal migrants in this country. It's costing us $150 billion a year. You know how much it would have cost to build the wall? Take a guess. Way less than 150. It would have spent, I think would have spent what? They said $20 billion to build the wall. They say it will take $80 billion for the mass deportation, to fund the mass deportation effort that Trump wants to instill nationwide. But Democrats, the liberal media never asked Democrats, how can Americans continue funding $150 billion to maintain illegals in our country? They never asked them that question. This is why the media gets called bias. This is what's fueling Trump's approval rating. Sorry. NBC affiliate cites growing concerns of ICE raids after murderers and gangsters are captured. NBC is doing this. Imagine pretending to be objective news, but this is how you're covering mass deportation. Deport at all costs at this point. Like, imagine what saves you more money. Let's play a math game. You don't need to be a math genius to see the numbers. All Trump has to do is, hey, it's going to cost you $80 billion taxpayer dollars, U.S. taxpayers to deport all these people. Right now, you're paying $150 billion to maintain them year over year in your country. We're trying to cut costs. Remember, everyone loved the government efficiency department, the Department of Government Efficiency. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants the government to be more efficient. So maintaining these illegals is more expensive than funding a mass campaign to boot them and deport them. You lose that. Like, logically, the Democrats can't argue this. This is why they keep trying to fearmonger about, oh my God, they're going to take migrants out of schools. You got teachers making empty threats on TikTok talking about how they're going to body ICE agents to protect their illegal alien school students in elementary school. Yeah, okay. An affiliate NBC affiliate in Boston's complained of growing concerns of deportation raids performed by ICE after the federal law enforcement caught illegal aliens wanted for crimes such as murder and rape. Make it make sense. Oh, this is politically motivated. Here's a commenter. I'm curious what concerns there would be over the following being removed from the streets by ICE Boston yesterday. Two MS-13 gang members, one which has Interpol red notice warrant for aggravated murder. Haitian gang member with 17 convictions, multiple alleged rapists. But these are the growing concerns. Bro, I swear. But enough about me and my little segment rant. Let's get into Donald Trump's net approval ratings. And I think this is going to be some good news. Actually, we kind of already knew that Donald Trump Donald Trump's been the most popular he's ever been. And we all got to thank Joe Biden for it. Because, you know, sometimes you can't appreciate what you have until you lose it. And I think this was the last 4 years. If you were to tell me, Kenny, what's the silver lining about Joe Biden winning the 2020 election? Is that he made a lot of people who were, let's say by default, had Trump derangement syndrome, who didn't like Trump. Oh, we fighting for the soul of the nation, right? They got what they wanted. Okay, you got Joe Biden. 4 years later, if you didn't get a 20% raise, you lost money. Everything's more expensive. Everyone's living paycheck to paycheck. If you're making six figures, half of people making six figures a year is living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans don't got $1,000 saved in their bank account. We had a record amount of credit card debt during the Biden years. Y'all voted for him. We voted for him. As Americans, we voted for Joe Biden because we believed his rhetoric about, oh, Trump is so brash. Trump will bring chaos. We're going to bring stability and less partisanship. And many Americans believed them. And look what happened. Look at the outcomes. This is why I want, if I ever get a big platform one thing I'm gonna continue advocating in politics is politics should be about outcomes, not about intentions. Because if you go by intentions, anyone can make a rational argument for intentions, but you have a harder time making arguments for bad outcomes. And illegal migration, mass migration, we already see the outcomes. It costs you $150 billion to keep the people here. But when the parties say, hey, it's only going to cost us $80 billion to deport them, and we're probably not going to spend $80 million anymore because of the fact that a lot of these people are out, we're saving 30 what? Let's do some quick math. 50, 60 billion dollars between 80, 150, easy math. But the Democrats are going to sit here and try to gaslight you and say, oh my God, it's too cruel. It's not nice. It wasn't nice for you to break into my house and I find you eating food in my house, and you can't be crying victim when I kick you out of my house. Now replace my house with my country and it all makes sense. And this is why no one cares. The gaslighting ain't working the same Democrats. And this is why the Democrats have the lowest approval rating in recent memory. If you look at the approval rating between of the Democrats, it's on the decline right now. And it's because of the mess that they sit here trying to tell you, oh, we have a comprehensive border plan. You're looking at the last 4 years. You're like, yeah, it's very comprehensive border plan. Allow illegals into the country and give them temporary legal status. For what ends? To give you more census numbers? To give you more political power? We know the stats. If you give illegals the opportunity to vote, they'll vote Democrat 66% of the time. And it only takes 2 million people to vote for Democrats to make it a landslide victory. And how many illegals we have possibly in this country? Allegedly, we have over 25 million illegal immigrants in this country right now. So if 66% of those 25 million people voted, Democrats will never lose an election again. This is why they always push for path to citizenship. This is why they're fighting for these illegals to stay here, even though they're committing crimes, sexually assaulting American women, killing American citizens, lighting American citizens on fire. This is why the Democrats tolerate all this crap. Because the illegals are nothing more than political pawns for their own political gain. But I digress. Enough of my rambling. Let's get into this CNN singing Trump's praises with data.
Like what they're seeing, at least compared to where Donald Trump started 8 years ago, right? All right, this is Donald Trump's net approval rating. This is Reuters Ipsos. It's among adults. It was taken the first few days of this administration. Look here. Back in January 2017, Donald Trump became the first president in history to start his presidency with a net negative approval rating. Look at where we are now in January 2025. Considerably better at plus 6 points. That's up 9 points. To borrow a Donald Trump phrase, this is big league. This is a sign that the American people, at least initially, like what they're seeing. And so you see right here, more Americans approve of Donald Trump's job.
I'm speaking for myself here. I don't only like what I'm seeing. I'm loving what I'm seeing. You declassify files that people have been curious for decades? MLK's assassination, JFK's assassination. You pardon some guy, I forgot, Albrecht, to make good on your promise to libertarians who supported you. Like right now, Trump is hidden and he's only been in office, what, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days?
Then disapprove, and that is very much unlike what we saw 8 years ago.
So compare the rating now to the entire first term.
Yeah, so it's not just that he's doing better than where he was doing 8 years ago. It's that he's doing better than he ever did during his entire first administration. So a
part of me thinks is for the fact that, like I said before earlier in this channel, earlier in the live stream, that people didn't realize what they had until they lost it. When they saw incompetence, when they saw weakness, well, you go tell Russia if they plan to invade Ukraine. Biden's response: don't. February 2021, what Russia did, they did. It's so funny. And now Russia is thinking about actually, coming to the table because Trump threatened tariff sanctions. Trump throwing the whole kitchen sink at Putin. Hey, y'all better get into that peace agreement. He stopped sending foreign aid to Ukraine. He froze weapons shipments. This is all things Trump's doing in 4 days. He did more in 4 days than Joe Biden did in 4 years. all based on the interests of the American people. I feel like a winner even though I'm a loser in real life. Hey, that's only temporary, dance with incels. I'll give you that as a acknowledgement. It's only temporary. You can always change. You just have to make actions leading to that change. But I digress. Let's get into this.
He never was over +3.
He was never over +3. The highest rating his highest ever net approval rating was +3 in March of.
Your choice of photo is quite.
He likes
amazing.
what he's seeing. He's smirking at the American media.
He just doesn't like you.
Maybe not. Although he should like these numbers and the way I'm presenting them. You look at January 2025. Look at that again. You get +6. So Donald Trump isn't just in a better position than he was 8 years ago at this point. He's in a better position than he was at any point during his entire first term. Things have very much turned around. This is a very different Donald Trump. He's leading a very different administration the way he's attacking things. And the American public is very much more in line with him than they were at any point during his entire first term.
I think so far what Trump's done, I think the only thing you can probably have some like disagreements or some like kind of hesitancies towards is the $500 billion investment into the AI Stargate stuff. I think that's the only negative thing that I see that people perceive as negative from Trump. But other than that, Trump in hey, he hasn't missed. He hasn't missed. But it gets more interesting as we continue. Let's get back into it. It gets more interesting.
I would say, correction, this is not a very different Donald Trump. This is a very different Donald Trump as being viewed by voters in this.
In the way he's going about things with Susan Wiles leading things, I think he's, going at things in a much less disorganized fashion, much more organized.
Take me back in history.
Take you back in history. So it was so interesting to me that Donald Trump's first net approval rating of his second term is higher than his entire first term. And I was interested, has that ever happened? Has the second term net approval rating in the first month, have you ever had a higher rating than any net?
Even Obama wasn't as popular in his second term as he was his first term. Trump made history. Trump is the only president ever to have a higher approval rating than his first term as a president. And the Democrats are sitting here trying to message against. This is who they were calling Hitler. Liberals in your comment section, liberals in your life will say, oh, Trump barely won the popular vote. He only had 49%. He barely won the popular vote. But he's the only president in history to be more popular in his second term than his first term. It's like you're drowning in you're drowning in liberal tears at this point. Let the video finish out.
Approval rating during the entire first term. Donald Trump is the only.
I have a really hard time believing this.
This is 100% true. I went back. I love spreadsheets. Donald Trump is the first guy ever whose net approval rating in the first month of his second term is higher than any rating that he had as an entire first term, Kate Baldwin. This is true. I don't make stuff up. The numbers are the numbers.
The numbers don't lie. All right? The numbers don't lie. Trump, the only president in history to have a higher net approval rating in his second term than his first term. You love to see it. You love to see it. Right? And there's more to that too. Trump recently, and this is going to be about Trump a little bit, but Trump today, on Friday, today's Friday, January 24th, 2025, Trump promises to overhaul FEMA, floats getting rid of the agency. FEMA has let us down, let the country down. And the smart thing Trump did here is that he let the people of North Carolina speak, right? And I'm going to shift through the video because Trump has done a lot lately to really align himself with the American people. Because, the Democrats sit here night and day and pretend that they're the people, they're the people of they're the party of the people. But in reality, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris has never visited the North Carolina people who, after they got hit by Helene. I don't want to hear ever again that the Democrats care about working people. President Trump just gave the people of Western North Carolina a giant microphone to tell their story. He hugged them. He listened to them. He asked questions. Biden ignored us for 4 months. You think, Democrats, this is suicide right here. This is political suicide. It's the same thing that happened in Ohio with the oil leak. Trump was the only one to visit, I think it was Palestine, Ohio. And now he's the only one to visit North Carolina since the impact of Hurricane Helene. Biden visited California, and that happened more recently than the hurricane impact of Haiti. So let's look at this. Let's look at this video because, like, end of the day, the reason why I think Trump is so popular now than he was ever before is people started to realize, yo, this man, like, he really cares about this country. He really cares about our community. He really cares about us. And people return the favor to him. They're like, okay, yeah, we let you down 2020. We didn't come out in droves. We let Trump derangement. We let fear. We let the fear of COVID. We let liberals gaslight us. I'm talking about me, people as an independent. I voted for Trump 2020. But independents, I'm talking about independents because I'm an independent. We let the left gaslight us into voting for Joe Biden. And then we got mollywopped for 4 years for doing that. And now it feel like, I don't know, it just feel like peace has returned. Like everything, it feel like everything happened for a reason. And we're more appreciative of him. And I think that's what it is. Like, hey, this is where we're spoiled now. Like, we would expect more politicians moving forward. One thing, I think Trump will be a consequential president merely for this one fact. Future Americans, current future politicians will be expected to be more closely care more closely about the interests of the common American in this country, not just billionaires, not just donors, but they have to actually be in touch with the common American in this country. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages that Trump had throughout his entire political career, his short 8 years of political career. But I digress. Let's get into the North Carolinians speaking on their about FEMA and all that stuff, and then we'll get back into the story.
I'm a pastor in the XO Church right down the road. We had only purchased in May, and it's a big church. We're a small congregation, and I had people say, "What are you going to do with this big building?" And I said, "Only God knows." And we had our dedication, and the storm came the next week. And the outpouring of people. My son brought the first load of supplies. And from there, I stayed there for about 3 months. I slept on the floor for about 3 weeks because the need was so great. The people were so devastated. And I said, I want to be here for them. And they were coming in just day and night. So there's really no need for me to go home.
Imagine, the media never wanted to cover this, right? And the only reason they're covering that is because Trump is there. And then Trump was like, "Oh, I know y'all here for me, but I'm a toss it to them." Wow. Yo, Democrats, y'all can't. Democrats really messing up, dog. Democrats are imploding in real time. You hear Doug Emhoff might be divorced from Kamala. You hear the Obamas might divorce. You hear all these infightings, right? But instead of caring about the American people, who do you hear CNN cry about? Who do you hear liberals cry about? Migrants, illegals, right? But let's hear Tom Homan's thoughts, because as border czar, he was better than the vice president, because this is what happens when you have a government that is aligned with the will of the people. Let's take a look at what Tom Homan has to say.
We're going to take a lot of hate. We're going to be sued every day, numerous times. I think you'll see the left try to control the media. They're going to show the first crying female, first crying child, and say how inhumane we are. But they won't talk about 340,000 children that they've failed to take care of. They're not going to talk about
exactly
the young women who have been murdered in this country at the hands of criminal cartels. They're not going to talk about the hundreds of angel moms and dads who buried their children. You want to talk about family separation? They buried their children because their children were killed by a member of a criminal cartel or someone that's not supposed to be here. They'll tell one side of the story. They'll try to vilify us, but they're not going to stop us from doing our job. I don't care what the media says about me.
Exactly.
If they saw what I saw in 34 years, saw the tragedies I've dealt with in 34 years, they would certainly understand me. They may not still like me, but there's a reason why we do what we do. Yeah. I'm tired of women being raped, making that journey. I'm tired of dead children. I'm tired of women and children being sex trafficked. On this administration, sex trafficking is up 600% of women and children.
But Democrats are the compassionate party. No, you're not. And this is a theme I've been saying all week. All week I've been pointing out leftism, wokeness, is that these people weaponize your emotions to manipulate you to do things for their own political and probably selfish interest. That's it. You only want illegals here because you know the bounds of probability is illegals help your cause. Sanctuary cities grow in population because illegals get counted in the census. Republicans try to pass a legislation saying, hey, only American citizens should be counted towards the census, and all the Democrats voted no on that. I wonder why. That's what Incel says. I hope everyone remembers just how awful the left is from here on out. I hope so. I hope people never forget this, that sanctuary cities, leftists and sanctuary cities, allow rapists, gang members, people who are violent, dangerous to the safety of the American people, and legal migrants as well, to the safety of legal migrants and American citizens. They let these people roam free in the country. For what reason? That's a question I would ask a Democrat. A Democrat that's fighting against Lincoln Ryan, I would ask them, hey, who do you say to people who think that you're only defending illegals due because of the fact that they benefit you politically? What do you have to say to people who question you about that? That's what I would ask a Democrat. But the liberal media will never ask that question. Instead, the Democrats will sidestep. They'll try to make, oh my God, look how cruel Donald Trump and ICE are. But you got Fox News. You got a Fox News video that got 4 million views in under a day. In 18 hours, you got 4.8 million views on a video showing ICE deporting these people. And you think the American people is going to fall for your little charade? But we'll see. We'll see.
We have a record number of people on the terrorist watch list being arrested. Historic record. 3,500% increase. Record number of Americans dying of fentanyl. We got a record number of cartel members that have entered this country. You know, the criminal cartels in Mexico making more money than they've ever made in smuggling aliens, trafficking in women and children, and moving dope. So,
wow.
Hate all you want. Push the misinformation out all you want. We're not going to slow down. We're not going to go away. We're going to get this done.
Yo,
we're going to take.
This dude should be border czar. I don't care if a Republican win 2028. They better keep Tom Homan if he wants the job. They better keep him. He might go down as the best border czar in history. I'm not even going to front with you guys. Tom Homan's attitude, his whole demeanor, it's like he was built for this. He was built to just not give a ish about the liberal media, about what they think of him. Right? Next thing, because I want to point out, Trump also took away Fauci Ouchie's security detail. I don't know why I said Fauci Ouchie like that, but, you know, I digress. And he got confronted by reporters. I'm just trying to find the clip. He got confronted by reporters about him terminating his security license the same way he terminated the security license for John Bolton. And here's was his response. And I love this response because it shows that Trump is really committed to the interests of the American people, because John Bolton got us into the Iraq war, which Trump heavily criticized in his first term, that it was a stupid war to get us in. And John Bolton has been fear-mongering or war-mongering ever since. And then of Anthony Fauci, the fact that he got preemptively pardoned by Biden, I feel like this is Trump's way of saying, hey, you're going to take some consequence at least, so I'm going to take away your security detail. And reporters try to bring this up to his face, like, don't you feel responsible if anything bad happens to Fauci Ouchie? Here's Trump's response.
Security detail for Anthony Fauci was terminated last night, and I'm wondering if you have any comment on that.
About what?
The security detail for Anthony Fauci was terminated last night, sir. Do you have a comment?
No, I think, you know, when you work for government, at some point your security detail comes off. And, you know, you can't have them forever. So I think it's very standard. If it would be for somebody else, you wouldn't be asking the question. The question is very fair. But, you know, you work for government. We took some off other people, too. But you can't have a security detail for the rest of your life because you work for government. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Would you feel partially responsible if something would happen to, say, Dr. Fauci
No.
or John Bolton?
No. You know, they all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security, too.
Damn.
All the people you're talking about, they can go out. I can give them some good numbers of very good security people. They can hire their own security. They all made a lot of money.
Exactly. Fauci made a lot of money. And the funny part is, RFK for the longest time was denied security detail. You didn't hear the left. You didn't hear these reporters asking Biden that. Why are you not putting RFK? Why you ain't giving RFK security details? Isn't he a son of a president that was assassinated? Uncle of a president? Uncle of someone who got assassinated? Why are you not giving this guy detail? They never asked the Democrats this question, and this is some of the bias many people are having a problem with the mainstream media. Someone will try to end this man again because he's winning too much. I hope not. I pray not. But hopefully we're in high alert. And here's another thing too. I think this is my last one, and I'll try to move on. But Trump has just been dominating the news cycle so hard lately this week. Is that you can't not cover what's going on with him. So here's Trump's response after he witnessed. This is before he went to speak at the North Carolina hurricane damage tour, when he was looking at the damages and his commitment to do away with the whole FEMA situation. He wants to put some conditions on California, and here's some of his conditions. I think they're fair. Let me know what you think in the comment section and in the chat.
Hold funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy?
I want to see two things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles, and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. They have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial, because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want two things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now, you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You want to have proof of citizenship. Ideally, you have one-day voting, but I just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a little while. We'll see you.
And some people are saying that Trump shouldn't do this because it'll send a moral hazard, which is something I said as well, is that you don't want to condition incompetence and reward incompetence, right? The fact that Gavin Newsom, as lieutenant governor and as governor, experienced some of the two worst wildfire damages in California history, and we're going to send taxpayer money to bail him out. One of the stipulations should be him to resign, him to step down. And I think that's very important, because the Democrats are trying to shift blame left and right. Oh, it's due to climate change. It's due to this. This is funny, right? Because this is some of the criticism that many people have about Trump just having limited stipulations. California is the richest state with the highest taxes, yet it cut funding for firefighting, which led directly to LA's catastrophic fires. Why? Because Newsom and Baz diverted billions from preventing and fighting catastrophic fires to migrants, homeless, and climate. Too many different priorities, right? This is one of the reasons why people said that they shouldn't be given the funds, because they might misuse or misappropriate the funds for something that doesn't even really matter. And this is what is really destroying the left right now. Nothing is more security large than the ignorance of the experts. And this is what the left is kind of suffering from right now, right? So Trump wants to do a complete overhaul, right? And moving on, confirmation hearings are scheduled for Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, and RFK, which is the three we really wanted to see. Kennedy's first hearing is slated for Wednesday, while Patel and Gabbard will face Senate committees on Thursday. So mark your calendars, folks. Wednesday and Thursday is going to be a doozy one, because this is where we as American First people, I think as many Americans, center, right, left, these are the three people we really want to see get confirmed. And it's going to be fireworks next week. Let's read a little bit into the article. The Senate is prepared for fireworks next week as three of the President Trump's most debated cabinet nominees will face confirmation hearings on Wednesday and Thursday. Tulsi Gabbard, the nominee for Director of National Intelligence, Kash Patel, the nominee for FBI Director, and RFK Jr., Trump's choice to lead Health and Human Services, will all face Senate confirmation hearings. Senator Mark Wayne Mueller said on Friday morning that he's expecting the left and the media to come out hard against each of them, like they did with Pete Hegseth, right? And the media really can't. I don't know, man. The way the media went after Pete Hegseth and they continued pushing these like fraudulent stories, these anonymous stories to try to smear the dude. It's expected at this point. Kash Patel, out of the three, I think Kash Patel will be the easiest one because it seemed like they got nothing on this guy. They can't say he's unqualified because he worked in the government. He worked in the FBI, if I remember correctly. He's well experienced, so they can't really get at him. Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know. It's hard because I know Democrats will really want to get at Tulsi Gabbard because, you know, at the end of the day, Tulsi Gabbard changed parties. You know, she used to be a Democratic candidate for president, former presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. You know, essentially her moving to the Republican Party made the Democrats look bad politically in my eyes. So I feel like they got to have a lot of personal vitriol for her. But I still say RFK is going to be the one with the most fireworks because of the fact that a lot of Democrats are funded by these pharmaceutical companies, by these medical institutions, right? Just like Democrats love to say, oh, Republicans are ran by the NRA. Democrats are ran by the pharmacy companies, by these pharmacy companies. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. But, you know, I kind of want to cover a little bit since we're talking about RFK. RFK thanks Trump for declassifying the JFK files, blast 60-year strategies of lies and secrecy. Trump gave the pen he used to sign the order to RFK. I wonder if I can find a video. I don't think I can find a video. Give me a sec. I can only find this. RFK praises Trump, orders declassified RFK, JFK, and MLK assassination records. So, hey, here's to what RFK Jr. had said about his uncle's assassinations during the 2023. So he had interviews about this stuff. Look at this. Look at the left. Look at the left. We don't have to listen to him. AOC urges political disobedience against Trump. We don't have to listen to him. Ay, que lindo. How cute. This is crazy. 4 big wins for Trump in 48 hours. You got Andrew Stoltz panicking over Fauci pardoning. What's in my arm? One of the most simple things that we can do is just not comply. Today, the Trump administration, also last night, the Trump administration signed a bunch of illegal executive orders. What are you talking about? Like, it's rich hearing the words illegal from a Democrat whining about a president doing what he's supposed to do. I can't get enough of this dude. LO, greatest president to set foot in Cali, and is not an untrue statement. I guess Trump really said, oh man, I don't know, man. I think when people look back in history, they're gonna be like, damn, 2020, the Trump years was lit. Like they could make a whole movie off of this era, this saga that Trump is going on, and it will probably sell. Just like they made a movie on Ronald Reagan. I see that being in the future. They're going to make a movie about this guy after the hate subside. But enough about Trump's approval ratings. I think I've said enough on this issue. Maybe another breaking news I could probably give you is that Argentina's president, Javier Milei, is to form an alliance with President Trump, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Hungary Prime Minister Viktor Orban, and others. This alliance aims to counter woke ideology and reduce government control. Sounds like a win to me. Anything with Javier Milei, and, you know, we're going to talk about wokeness. You know, wokeness is in decline, right? This is going to be the second half of my live stream. Wokeness is in decline. As you guys know, the left is crying a river over the fact that, you know, we're moving DEI, a.k.a. racism under new management, a.k.a. minority privilege, right? A.k.a. discrimination. But, you know, let's get into it. This is commentary from John Kennedy, and he had a little nice kind of pushback about DEI, and I think any common sense person would agree to what he has to say in this exchange.
Yeah.
I think the American people have spoken very clearly that that the best way to stop discriminating against people on the basis of race or gender is to stop discriminating against people on the basis of race and gender.
So simple, right?
Yeah.
Right? So simple,
think-
right? But the left seems to not, like, I don't know. We all know what the left is doing, right? And I think one of the reasons why I never became a leftist or never was intrigued by the left is the fact that we know they're lying. Like, these people, like let's look at a quote from Thomas Sowell, right? My favorite guy I like to quote. Schools are quick to blame everyone and everything but themselves for the failure of the American education. To them, every bad teacher is an exception and every bad parent is the rule. Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell, boy. Hey, you see these woke teachers that be crawling, like, if you go on TikTok, you're going to be scared to put your kids in public school. You're going to be like, damn, these people teach our kids, right? Wokeness is on its way out, guys. I don't see how the left can win this. I can't, right? Because every problem that the left seems to want to complain about, right, it always goes back to the Democrats. Now, I'm going to show you this pastor that I love this guy. His name is Victorellenson. And he's going to talk about how if the left wants to complain about systematic racism so much, they have to look at themselves, because all the negative, bad outcomes most Black Americans experience is under the jurisdiction of Democrat governance. Let's take a look at the clip.
Here's a riddle for you. How can systemic racism be a GOP problem when the Democrats control all of the systems in the Black community? Go to Detroit, go to Chicago, go to New York. See, y'all, most politics is local. It's a concept called federalism applied to the Constitution. The federal government has limited powers in a whole lot of places. They just really just give money. But when you start talking about school boards, when you talk about police, talking about sheriff's departments, start talking about courts, judges, county jails, city jails, streets and garbage pickup, all that stuff's local. Yeah, the local governments have a lot of power here in America. But what Democrats are very good at doing, they're good at deflecting.
Hey, true words never been spoken in my life. And that's something that Democrats and leftists do very well. They love to deflect. They never want to take a responsibility or accountability for anything. Like, we talk about FEMA. Oh, look, FEMA ran out of money because you used it for illegals. No, they didn't. They didn't do that. Trump goes to North Carolina, still hasn't been helped yet. People still living on the floor. Right? He has to get rid of FEMA and hand over the responsibility to natural disasters to the states. He wants to localize it. Hey, let the local governments handle it. Trump made comments during a visit to Asheville, North Carolina, where he met with victims of Hurricane Helene and teased an executive order to completely overhaul FEMA. Western North Carolina was devastated last year when Hurricane Helene brought record flooding to the area, destroying homes and killing more than 100 people. I'll be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA and maybe getting rid of FEMA, I think. Frankly, FEMA is not good, Trump said. I think when you have problems like this, I think you want to use your state to fix it and not waste time. Right? But the Democrats are going to deflect. Oh, no, nothing's wrong with FEMA. Nothing's wrong with our administration. You want to call people liars, but you stay slandering people, calling them Nazis just because they disagree with you. You want to sit here and lie. You want to call Donald Trump a liar, but you lie every day saying that men can become women. Congressman, I like that, Sarah McBride and deranged Reed failed to fact-check President Trump's executive order directing the government to only recognize two genders. Right? Like, this is some of the silliness that the Democrats are like. They're going, hey, one thing you can respect, they're going down with this ship. The ship called DEI is sinking, and Joy Reid and a lot of these Democrats are still on it.
Joining me now is freshman Congresswoman Sarah McBride of Delaware, the first openly transgender member of Congress. Not to correct the president, but two genders and then saying male and female, sex is male and female. That is the thing that is designated male and female. Gender is actually a totally separate thing. I actually...
You know, my best argument for like debating people, or not debating people, but to get people who believe this nonsense that, oh, sex is different from gender, is I go, what's the function of language? Like, what's the purpose? Like, why do we speak a language? to communicate. Okay, is it effective communication to give you a word and it's interpreted two different ways by an individual? The definition of female, the definition of woman and man has sex characteristics in the definition. What's a man? What's a man? A human, adult human male. What's a woman? Adult human female. The definition before when did transgenderism become a thing? Let me know in the comment section. When did it become a thing? Damn. I can't think properly. I don't know when it became a thing. It happened during the Trump years. 2018 maybe? Let's say 2018. Before 2018, everyone knew what woman meant. So when someone used the word woman, we know who they were talking about. Then you got these crazy people trying to tell you that gender and sex are two different things, when gender is merely a means to express different categories into one word. Instead of keep saying this adult human female, we wanted to truncate the word, and that's why woman came from. Women express 3 different characteristics about something we're trying to communicate. I'm telling you about an adult human female over there. That's what I'm talking about when I say woman. But when you use woman, it's someone identifying as adult human female. Like, make it make sense. This is the decline of DEI. Everyone's tired of this thought policing. Everyone's tired of the emotional gaslighting. Like, if you believe you're a woman, that's cool. Only you should be validated. Like, but don't sit here trying to look for my approval, looking for my validation, and want me to confirm your delusion of yourself. Right? You could think you're the most handsome man in the world, but I don't have to agree with you. And these people are trying to make draconian laws, authoritarian laws, tyrannical laws, where if I disagree with how someone sees themselves, I have to go to jail. Make it make sense. But we don't believe in censorship. We're not trying to stifle people's expressions. Yes, you are. I feel offended that you're trying to get me to tell you a lie. That's how offended I am about this trans issue. And I think this is why Trump spent a lot of money on the trans issue. America's not going for it no more.
Went into a wormhole on this today just to make sure that I wasn't hearing things wrong. So he's actually got that wrong. So we'll just correct him on that. Joining me now is freshman.
Imagine saying someone's wrong because you think they're wrong. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Oh, it was an insurrection because I think it's an insurrection. No, it's not. If no one in January 6th got charged with insurrection, how can you call it an insurrection? Because you think so. Oh, because you categorize it as something, therefore it's true? Sometimes I think many leftists think they're gods. Honestly, this is why I equate wokeness to a religion. This religion needs to stop. Here's a funny clip I got for you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I got 5 people in here. I had like 13 people in here at most, but I appreciate you guys watching the stream. It really does, encourage me, help me. I want to highlight this clip because this is a funny clip. This dude's gonna ask him some woke BS because we're on wokeness right now. We just finished telling you why Trump has the highest approval ratings ever in his presidential history. We just told you how Trump made history by being the only president in U.S. history to be more popular in his second term than his first term. We went into some reasons, from the border to him standing up to the WEF, to meeting with people and just being the people's, just being one with the people. And how he's Trump, I don't know. I would say Trump, as far as I can tell, in my lifetime, Trump has been the best president, right? I was conscious during Bush, bad president. Like, no one likes Bush. Obama, no one likes Obama. Like, after you see the effect, you're like, damn. Obama made Obama made medical insurance more expensive with Obamacare. And he lied to us and said it wouldn't make private insurance more expensive, right? So, yeah, Obama's a wash. Trump was marginally better, but obviously he hired the wrong people. He got subverted, right? He couldn't do as good as he could in his first term. And now in the second term, he's just blazing through. But, we're not talking about Trump. We're going to talk about wokeness and why it's declining. Why leftism is no longer popular in our society. Because look how stupid this anchor is going to sound asking Pierre Poilievre what he thinks about there being more than 2 genders. Let's take a look.
first day on the job, President Trump signed an executive order, the U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Me personally?
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am as people say, cis man.
Cis man, yo. To me, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but if someone referred to me as a cis man, I'll feel offended. I don't know why. I'll feel offended by that. I said, what do you mean by that? Like, it's like telling me, Kenny, you're a white man. I'm like, huh? What do you mean by that? It's obvious I'm black. What are you calling me a white man for? Oh, well, just the way you speak. You show up on time. You articulate. You speak standard English. You don't sag your pants when you walk. You don't have kids outside of wedlock. So I'm white now? What? I'll feel offended if someone call me that. You just can't call me a responsible man. You have to call me, oh, you acting white. Ignorant-ish. But someone call me cis, I'll be mad. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? I was like, what is that? You see why they say if you control people's language, you can control people's thoughts. Because language is a way to express the ideas of the mind. And if you go out there and you say, hey, certain words you're not allowed to say, you're not allowed to express, in a way, you're controlling people's thoughts. And I think this is one of the reasons why I think there's been such a pushback against censorship in our culture. Is because people are starting to recognize, hey, these people, they're emotionally manipulating us, they're gaslighting us, and they're just bullying us. They're bullying you to go along with something. They're trying to punk you into just going along with it. There's more than two genders. No, they're not. You're a transphobe. You're denying the existence of trans people. Trying to guilt trip you because you're not going along with their delusional mess. And look how Poilievre switched the question around. As far as I know, there's only two genders. And he made it, hey, you make the argument. Because at the end of the day, since the beginning of human history, there's only been two genders. You come up with your idea that only happened 7 years ago, sitting here lecturing us that something you came up with 7 years ago, we supposed to just go along and accept it with no pushback? Are you stupid? Are you crazy? Even good ideas had to be pitched to us. You couldn't pitch us this. You couldn't make your argument. Instead, we have to sit here and defend the fact that there's only two genders, but you don't have to make an argument for why you think there's more than two genders. Like, make it make sense. And when Poilievre switched the question on him, you see how this man you see how silly he sounds? This guy sounds like my 4-year-old son asking me questions about the world. He sounds ignorant and naive. Like he was just born yesterday, asking these silly questions. And this is the ground that Democrats are losing. If the Democrats want to live and die on this, if this is the hill the Democrats want to die on, salute. I salute you. Yeah, at least you believe what you believe.
They say they're
gender
neutral.
Well,
you are a man. Yes, there are people out there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person.
I'm glad Donald Trump banned this ish. Right? There's people who have these things on their passports and they may not be let into the country. Yeah, we shouldn't let delusional people back into our country if on their passports they have things that don't exist. Like, make it make sense.
Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two?
I'm only aware of two, but I mean, if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But I'm aware of two. And as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone.
This is crazy, bro. Like, man literally asked them, hey, do you think you're going to pass a law that recognizes more than two genders?
First,
the future prime minister of Canada says, as far as I know, there's only two genders. Is there any more than two genders? Baffling. 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 But this is who Democrats will go to war for, right? And I think, why DEI is in such a decline is the fact that they have lost they have lost morally. Like, there's something to this narrative that Trump has, like, definitively beat the Democrats morally and politically. And for my last video that I want to go over, and I made good time. I've been working on pacing myself in the live stream to stay within an hour, because I notice you guys watch more when I'm under, like, around an hour mark. So this will be my last video that I'm gonna cover before I call it a night and wish you guys a happy weekend. There's something to this fact that Democrats have lost almost damn near all moral ground. So when they do this fake virtual signaling, like, oh my God, we need DEI to make things right that happened in the past. Yeah, no black person alive faced slavery. Yeah, no black person faced the same level of racism as Martin Luther King. But we have to make right historical justice for these people. But historically, like, white people didn't have nothing to do with slavery. They just happened to share the same skin color as people who had slaves in the United States. And people who never experienced slavery just happen to have the same skin color as people who had experienced slavery. And for that, we're supposed to bend over backwards for them? Right or wrong that was never perpetrated by them personally? You're trying to punish white people just because they're born white? That's like me punishing a black person just because half of criminals are black. Make it make sense. You're going to punish a whole group of people because they happen to be the same race as people who perpetrated something wrong in the past. If we're going by that logic, everybody got dirt. Everybody. Every ancestry, every ethnicity has perpetrated atrocities in their history. If you want to play that game. And that's why many conservatives, many people, and I agree with this concept too, is the victim Olympics. So here's in this panel that I want to react, this 1 minute panel. You're going to hear how CNN is going to try to dodge this question, and they get called out for their lack of moral clarity here, almost. I might be misreading this. Let me make sure I got the right clip. I might be sharing something wrong. Yeah. They won't inch a single ground for moral high ground. Like, let's take a look.
I don't understand how hard it is to say violent criminals shouldn't be pardoned for trying to have an insurrection and stop the peaceful transfer of power. Can you say that? I'm just out of curiosity.
Look, I'm okay that these people, especially those that assaulted cops, actually faced some consequence. But I won't cede an inch of the moral high ground on that issue, specifically law enforcement, to anybody who represents the Democratic Party in general. Because this is a party, I mean, especially here where we are in New York. You could have saw all summer New York City police officers getting assaulted and beaten. You have Rikers Island where correction officers get stabbed, slashed, beaten every day. And the Democratic Party here in this state and nationwide doesn't say boo. We have a Soros prosecutor who won't prosecute these people. These January 6 guys that assaulted cops, they were in jail for 2 years, 3 years. That's fine with me. If you do the same thing here to a cop in this city, you're lucky you get 3 hours in the slammer.
Damn! Hey! Let my man cook. Let my man cook. This is the fake moral outrage. Like, this is the fake route. This is why I think people are tired of this. This is cry bullying. You ever met a person where they're the biggest instigators, and minute when you confront them, they start crying? You're not crying because you're actually sorry. You're crying because you was about to face consequences for your actions. This is some manipulative ish. This is what people call cry bullying. This is what the Democrats do. You want to cry about Donald Trump pardoning January 6th when BLM got bailed out by Minnesota Trust Fund because of Kamala Harris? Y'all forgot that? Never got Chaz? Chaz killed a lot of people. Chaz hurt a lot of American citizens and cops. They wouldn't even let paramedics get into the Chaz zone in Seattle. Seattle was throwing firebombs at police jurisdictions, police departments. In Seattle, they're throwing firebombs. But you're crying about Donald Trump pardoning people that already suffered 2 years in the slammer. Some of them in solitary confinement. In my estimation, they already got punished for what they did. And you mad about that? But your protesters, you don't hold them accountable. You absolve them of all kind of accountability. And let's take the morality out of it. Let's say I only made it political. So you're telling me one political party can bail out their protesters, their rioters, when they killed cops, David Dunn, anyone? Destroy property. BLM destroyed way more property than January 6th did. BLM killed more cops than January 6th did. But I ain't see you crying about that. If I only look at it from a political lens, y'all look hypocritical. Anything you can do, they should be able to do too. It's a two-way street. You can't cry, oh, this is unfair, but at the same time, you're the one perpetrating the very same thing. And actually, you perpetrated it first because Democrats have a very bad habit of breaking precedent. They want to complain about Trump putting in 3 judges, but guess who started it first? Obama. Mitch McConnell warned Obama, oh, hey, Obama, don't do this. Don't remove the filibuster for the court for nominating judges. Obama did it anyway because he had the majority. He did it what was in his political favor. And then Mitch McConnell came back. He said, you're going to regret this. Donald Trump wins 2016. Boom, 3 judges. Liberals crying, but they're the one who started it first. 2022, 2023. DOJ went after Donald Trump, raided his house in Mar-a-Lago. Try to keep him off the ballot. Try to send him in jail. Push forward the statute of limitations so that way he can get prosecuted for crimes. This is some dumb-ish. Dumb. But now Trump's in power. Cash Patel, I want you to investigate Joe Biden. Oh, no, he's politicized. He's weaponizing the government. Bill Clinton sitting back in his chair after Donald Trump gave Kamala Harris that nice Millie Rock during election night. This is Bill Clinton. I think we need to cool down the political the language. We need to stop weaponizing the DOJ after you did it. Bill Clinton saying that is like you're in a fight with somebody. You throw the first punch. You gave him a good punch. And when a guy turn around ready to get you a nice haymaker back, you go, we should stop fighting now. I think we should stop fighting. That's effectively politically what the Democrats are trying to do right now. You weaponize the DOJ. You got all your AGs, district attorneys going after your political opponents. And now that your political rival's in power now, you don't want him to do what you did to him. You don't want him to get his get back. That's unfair. Yeah, yes, I know. An eye for an eye will make the world blind, but it will hold them accountable. That's my thing. That's what really irks me about the Democratic Party. And that's the annoying part. Let's finish it out because this man was cooking. He was cooking.
That assaulted cops, they were in jail for 2 years, 3 years. That's fine with me. If you do the same thing here to a cop in this city, you're lucky you get 3 hours in the slammer.
California is the same way.
California is the exact same way. So this is, January 6th was not a great day for America. But to your point, it was litigated. Trump ran for office from day one saying he was going to do this. The American public had their chance to weigh in. Exactly. He got elected, and he did it, and now we're going to have to move forward.
Okay, I gotta wind down now. So let me look at some people in the chat. So Dance with Incel says it's 350 years later and we're still about talking about slavery. Hey, look, man, people don't want to let it go because end of the day, I always say this argument too. A lot of people in my community, they use racism like an alibi, right? And the best supporting reason why, so pretty much black people have some type of moral capital in the United States because of slavery. So if we ever get past slavery, effectively, black people today and in the future will lose that moral capital they have on, on racial issues, racial disparities. This is one of the reasons. It's just a means of holding on power. That's why people are still talking about slavery. Ronald Siner says, you're too cool for just YouTube. You need to be on Fox News or some news outlets. Hey, I appreciate that. Honestly, sometimes I feel like, man, I look at these people, I'm like, man, I could do your job way better than you. But a part of me is like, I don't know. But I appreciate the compliment. I take that as a compliment, actually. Like, I appreciate that, Ronald. I really do. Dance with Incels again says, but I think Vivek should be a part of the new right. I don't think Vivek should be part of the new right. He's a faker, in my opinion. I personally like Vivek. End of the day, people can change their mind. I think Vivek, I think if I were to ask you, would you rather have a Vivek or a Liz Cheney or a Mitt Romney. Like if you had to pick Mitt Romney versus Vivek, who would you rather have, right? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to say like who's the least worst option. That's how I think I would phrase it. So even if you don't like Vivek, I think Vivek is a massive upgrade compared to a George Bush type, a Mitt Romney type, right? And he's a libertarian kind of conservative too. So I would, I feel like he should get more of a chance. He should get an opportunity to redeem himself, just because he says something that a lot of people disagree with. And that's why that's one thing about me too. I'm not a puritist. Like I don't believe, you should believe like 100% of what I believe, right? But if you can give clarification for why you stand for what you stand, I can support that. Post H1B1 nonsense. He doesn't need our support. That's what it's so funny. You could do a way better job. I appreciate the compliments, Ronald Snyder. Well, guys, that's all I had for tonight. I'm trying to keep I'm trying to keep it under an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate you guys watching to the end of the live stream. Please like the video on your way out. I really do appreciate you guys watching to the end of the live stream. I'll catch you guys next week. We in for bangers. Next Wednesday, we got RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel. It's going to be fire next week. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys enjoying time with your family. I hope you guys are, making impacts in your life. And I'll catch you guys on the next live stream. Peace.